In 2013, there was actually a court case in the United States. It was called Myriad genetics case. This was the company that actually patented the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. They discovered the genes that cause breast cancer. All right. This was mind-blowing. They identified the specific genes that would predispose patients to developing both breast, ovarian, and since we've learned, also prostate cancer. It was a fantastic discovery, but they patented it. And they said, we now own this intellectual property. And then everyone else said, no, that's the human body. You can't patent that. And the Supreme Court actually sided with that argument, saying that if something is natural, it's found within us, okay? I can't patent, your muscle cells, right? Which is a wonderful thing. But the unintentional byproduct of that is all of a sudden, pharma had no incentive whatsoever to pursue really promising compounds that they could not monetize. At the same time, I believe it was around 2012, 2013, there was a terrible event that happened in New England where there was a compounding pharmacy that was not doing the right thing, and they ended up having a bunch of contaminated specimens that caused a fungal meningitis. A bunch of patients got really sick. It was a huge scandal. And all of a sudden, the FDA stepped in and said, hey, historically, all right, states have been allowed to regulate compounding pharmacies themselves, but we need some federal oversight here because this is not acceptable. Completely agree with that. And they introduced a new set of regulations on top of compounding pharmacies, basically saying what you can and cannot make. And what they eventually said is, well, you can only make three things. You can make things that are in the USP, United States Pharmacopoeia, okay? Things that have been, well described, already published, things that are already in drugs that are already on the market, or three, things that are on a very specific list that we're gonna give you, okay? And in that list, they actually included a lot of these very promising compounds that were stuck in drug development, limbo.
And you say compounding pharmacies. You said that a few times. What is a compounding pharmacy, just so I'm clear on the definition?
Back in the 1800s or early 1900s, if you ever needed a medication, you go see the pharmacist who had a shop down the road, and he would actually make your medication in front of you. And he would do that custom for every single patient that came by, all right? And it was only since the advent of modern factories that we had the modern pharmaceutical industry come about. But the truth is that, again, that's kind of paint by numbers. You're creating this one pill, and, it always seemed kind of crazy that the adult dose is one standardized dose for all adults. Yeah. Like if you look at what your body composition is versus some of my patients, why is the dose in your blood pressure medicine the exact same? Like that doesn't seem to be quite right, but it is what it is. So when patients fall outside of that and they need custom medication, we still have those people who make custom formulations of medications.